New York City, the Big Apple. It's known for its bright lights, endless opportunities, and the promise of making it big. But living here isn't all glamour and excitement. Behind the iconic skyline and bustling streets, there's a side of New York that no one really talks about. Today we're diving into the darker side of life in NYC, the things you might want to know before you decide to call this place home. Let's start with the elephant in the room, the cost of living. New York is one of the most expensive cities in the world. From sky-high rent prices to the cost of basic groceries, living in NYC can drain your bank account faster than you might expect. Want to live in Manhattan? Be prepared to pay thousands of dollars a month for a studio apartment if you're lucky. Even in the outer boroughs, rent prices are climbing. And it's not just rent, dining out, transportation, and everyday essentials all come with a premium price tag. New York is home to over 8 million people, and at times it feels like every single one of them is on the same subway platform as you. The sheer density of the city means you're constantly surrounded by people, whether you're commuting, shopping, or just trying to enjoy a quiet moment in the park. Finding personal space in New York can feel like a luxury. The crowds are everywhere, and during rush hour, navigating the city can be a daily test of patience. They call New York the city that never sleeps, and that's not always a good thing. The noise in NYC is constant, from the honking taxis and blaring sirens to late-night construction and rowdy nightlife. If you're someone who craves peace and quiet, New York is not the place to find it. Even in the so-called quiet neighborhoods, the sound of the city is never far away. Earplugs and soundproofing become essential tools for survival. New York's subway system is famous, but not always in a good way. While it's convenient and can get you almost anywhere in the city, the reality is that the subway system is outdated, often unreliable, and can make your daily commute a nightmare. Delays, breakdowns, and crowded platforms are part of everyday life for New Yorkers. And when the system doesn't work, which is more often than you'd think, it can turn what should be a simple commute into a frustrating ordeal. Space is a luxury in New York, and for most people it's one they can't afford. Apartments in the city are notoriously small, with high prices for what feels like just a few square feet. If you're used to spacious living, get ready to downsize, significantly. Living in New York often means adapting to tiny, cramped spaces, where finding room for basic essentials can become a creative challenge. New York weather can be brutal. Winters are cold, with snowstorms that can bring the city to a standstill. Summers are hot and sticky, with humidity that makes the subway feel like a sauna. Spring and fall offer some relief, but the extremes in weather can make life in the city challenging year-round. Dealing with the weather is just part of life here, and whether it's shoveling snow or trying to stay cool in the heat, it's one more thing that makes New York living a bit tougher. New York is known for its fast pace, and for some, that's part of the appeal. But for others, it can feel overwhelming. Life in New York is non-stop, and the pressure to keep up can be exhausting. Long work hours, the constant hustle, and the need to always be on the go can leave you feeling burnt out. Taking a break isn't easy in a city that's always moving. The pace of New York can wear you down if you're not careful. New York is a city of contrasts, and that's never more evident than when it comes to income inequality. The wealth gap here is stark, with luxury high-rises standing next to shelters and affordable housing. Homelessness is a visible and heartbreaking part of life in the city, and it's a reminder that New York, for all its opportunities, is also a place where many people struggle to survive. These issues are complex and deeply rooted, but they're impossible to ignore when you're walking through the city every day. So, is life in New York worth it? That's something only you can decide. For many, the energy, opportunities, and culture of the city outweigh the challenges. But it's important to know what you're getting into. New York is a city of dreams, but it's also a city of realities, and sometimes those realities are tough to face. Living in New York isn't for everyone, but if you can handle the highs and the lows, it just might be the adventure of a lifetime. Subscribe for more interesting facts about New York City.